As a new leader or an aspiring leader, you may need to reflect upon your work-life balance, because very often I've seen new leaders still trying to do their old role whilst doing the new role, and that's very, very difficult to do. But the other piece you need to remember is that you've probably got a team, and your team will be in very different places in their journey. It's about getting to know them individually, what they need from you, what they'd like to see from you, how they want to be supported. And that looks very different now from what it did when I was growing up as a leader. So that can require quite an emotional investment. And so you have to be aware of your own style, your own leadership style, your own leadership values, and understand the person in front of you. That's really a key effective way to lead your team, is to understand them as individuals, and as well as how they operate as a team. It can be quite daunting to start with, to leave behind the old role and start the new role, particularly when you're shaping your leadership role and you don't know quite yet what that entails. That will become clear, don't worry, as you build relationships, as you get involved with strategy discussions, etc. You'll find that your diary soon seems to get very, very full. So as a leader, think about really being conscious of how you're spending your time. Get your one-to-ones and your team meetings, your team workshops all mapped out early on. Ask your team for guidance and advice and their input about what they would like from you, when they would like to meet. So you've kind of got that. Leave some development time if you can, once a week, even if it's half an hour listening to a podcast. But find ways to maintain that work-life balance. Just because you're a leader doesn't mean you have to burn out. Sometimes there are going to be times where you work long hours, where something happens because you might be more privy to situations that are going on across the organisation, upwards in the organisation, than your team are. So you might experience long hours during those times, and when there's a crisis going on, for example. And if you are not so visible to your team because of something like that, communicate with them and tell them, look, I'm dealing with something, I can't talk to you about it now, but I will when I can. So it really start as you mean to go on. Consciously put in time with your team, consciously put in time for your own development. Really get to know from your own leader what kind of meetings you're going to need to go to. What does that timeline look like? So you can start building everything else around those pieces you know need to happen and are going to happen. So as I mentioned, that work-life balance, time management skills are going to be critical. Now, if you'd like to know more about this, then drop me a message or get in touch to learn more about my Manager to Leader transformation program. It's a short program, it's a group program, and it'll help you navigate this step to leadership.